Hey guys, Marcel here from Backpacking for Beginners. This weekend went on a trip to Algonquin Park. That's a park here in southern Ontario, quite a large park. We did canoeing and backpacking. So some things that came up that, thought we should talk about. Water filtration. I took a Sawyer Mini with me. Found that it was actually very slow to filter water. So picking up the water easy, it works great. But I found I was sitting around the camp and just continually holding a bag trying to get water out. One of the guys I went with, he took a platypus. It was a nice integral system. He hung it on a tree, came back later on, and the bag was full. The clean bag was full. Whereas the Sawyer, the way I had it set up, not as optimal, not as convenient. So something there to think about. So does it filter? Yes. Is it speed? Important factor. And can it be hands off? If it can be hands off, you can be doing other stuff. You can be setting up your tent, you can be hanging out, you can be around the fire, you can be cooking, you can be swimming in the lake. So otherwise you're holding a bag waiting for it to filter your water for half an hour. During this trip there's a fire ban on, things are pretty dry, it hasn't been a lot of rain. So sitting around a campfire did not happen. However, we still wanted to cook, some of the guys wanted to cook their food. So they brought stoves. Tradition in this group is we bring steaks first night, so it wasn't quite as fun without the fire, but still had to cook those steaks. So propane, gas, stoves, pots, still works. Not as fun, not as exciting, but gets the job done. Also, portaging. So what is a portage? So portage is, for those of you who don't know, it's when you cross land with your canoe to your next destination where you're gonna continue canoeing. So not all the lakes, not all the rivers are connected. So you have to portage sometimes, or there's rapids you have to get around that you can't get through. So we call that a portage. So a portage, it can be a single shot, multi-shot, double shot. So what that means is, do you go through the portage in one shot? So do you carry your canoe, your pack, everything you have with you one time, you get across, you keep going? Or do you leave some stuff behind, carry some of it across, come back, and just keep going back and forth until everything's at your next destination, pack up your canoe and keep on going? So if you single shot, that's what we did, it saves a lot of time, right? But if you have too much stuff with you, if you have 3 packs per person or 2 packs per person and a canoe, it becomes very difficult. So with our group, we ended up with 4 people and 2.5 packs per person and the canoe. So we were able to distribute the weight, distribute the load, and able to single shot it. But if you can't do that, you need to take that into account. That way, so you don't run out of time, you don't get to your campsite too late. So the other thing we ran into is a lot of beaver dams. So we did a lot of river canoeing. So we did lakes, we did a lot of rivers. We did the Tim River and the Padawa River. And we ran into a lot of beaver dams. So I was quite surprised to see that many beaver dams out there, but there was a lot. So what you do is you end up pulling your canoe, like parallel parking it against the beaver dam. One guy gets out, holds the canoe, the next guy gets out, and you both lift the canoe over to the other side of the dam. One guy gets back in, holds the canoe against the beaver dam, the other guy gets back in, and you paddle away. But first time around, it's kind of intimidating. You might fall in the water, you might tip your canoe. So balance is key, patience is key, and just take your time and take it easy.
Yeah, really good.
Shoes. So I took a pair of hiking shoes and I took a pair of water shoes for this. So hiking shoes didn't last. Well, they lasted, but I didn't wear them for very long. For about a day. They did not dry. They're a great comfortable shoe, but they didn't really want to dry. It took them about 2 days to dry. Really important factor when picking what shoes you're going to take with you, because if they're going to be wet the whole day, it's really uncomfortable. Yeah, you're gonna have wet feet. That's normal, but you don't want them in the morning you want to have dry feet, in the evening you want to have dry feet. So make sure you have something that when you get back to camp, you can put on so you have dry feet. You don't want to be having soggy feet continuously. All right, so it's a very important factor. Or get a pair of shoes that will dry out quickly. All right. And lastly, time of day to paddle on a lake. So you can paddle any time of day, really, it's up to you. But we found that in the mornings, the lakes are super calm, like glass, and you just cut through them like butter. There's no resistance, there's no waves to go against, and you just get across those lakes so much quicker, so much less energy. Then you get into the rivers, in the evening, or not the evening, but in the afternoon when it gets a little bit hotter. You get more shade when you're in the rivers. So that's how we planned our trips, and it seemed to work out quite well. Hey guys, hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions or you want to discuss anything, or leave a comment below. We'll be back next week with another video, and see you then.